some questions that you need to answer, and I won't go through all of these because we provide this for you in your workbook, but there are some key questions that you need to be asking yourself. What has changed for the better and worse? What are those things? What are your customers' core needs? What are the problems that they need you to solve for them? And then what makes you unique in the market? So setting those things apart, again, if you read Blue Ocean Strategy, a lot of these things are given as ideas to also think about. But you've got to be continually looking at what are the things that's changed, and then how can we better ourselves going forward. If you've ever read the book, Business Model Generation, what you're really doing is you're taking these answers and putting it on a one page. We provided this as the last page of your workbook to kind of fill in, because the easiest way for an organization to communicate effectively is to put down as much of what you do as a process in businesses on one piece of paper. Because once you do this, it's easy to see, easy to clarify, easy to know who's responsible for what. So whether it be your key partners, your key resources, your channels of distribution, these are essential to kind of keep in front of you so everybody's reminded how important each part is to the company operating.
For a flexible strategy in uncertain times, you need to have products or services that really can address each of these different scenarios. So Mitch talked about this. Things could get worse, things could stay the same, or things could go back to normal. Probably the third one is the one that most people is highly unlikely for some time. It's going to be the first or the second. So you're better off putting your money on the first or the second. I wouldn't put your money on the third one. Whatever it is, you need to think about how your products or services really meet those different scenarios. Now, this, I would think this is worth the price of admission, what you have right here. If you take this and really give it some thought, it's going to really make a difference to your whole strategic planning process. So what you need to do is you need to fill this out for the three different scenarios and use this guide as you fill them out. Now, what you see is on the x-axis on the bottom is the cost of growth. The y-axis, the vertical one, is the potential for growth. And so clearly, you should be aiming for the top left-hand quadrant. That's a low cost of growth and high potential for growth. That's where you need to be. That's where you need to be aiming at. But it's really interesting. What was in there before the pandemic hit very probably isn't there anymore. We used to do a lot of live events. Well, that was a lot of our focus. Well, that's not part education. And probably the good thing in education is that the purpose in education now is probably this pandemic is really forcing universities to think more about education and not entertaining on, creating an entertaining campus. So it's forcing people to rethink, where do their deliverables go? And which of these quadrants does it really fit in? Remembering that the likelihood that it's the same as pre-pandemic is pretty low. It's going to be whatever was in the top left-hand quadrant is probably no longer there. It's going to be in one of the other quadrants. And what was in one of the other quadrants is very probably likely to be on the left-hand side, and ideally in the top left.